Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me and y'all can see what I have here. This is super cool. I received a deck from a dear friend of mine, Elizabeth from the More Intuitive Me. She is amazing. She actually just did a live last night in which she talked about her practices and things that she used for divination. Absolutely amazing. And I definitely recommend checking out her channel. And I believe this is the first live I've done on this channel. I do go live on my other channel, but anyhow, for me, it's a lot faster just to do a live as opposed to making a video and uploading it and doing all of that stuff. So I'm going to just do the live right now, and maybe I'll get some people coming in. I'm also streaming through OBS as opposed to using the YouTube streaming software or whatever they have. So I've done this a couple of times, but I just started streaming through YouTube because it was a lot faster. So bear with me if there's some mistakes. I've been very technically challenged these days. I'm not even sure what's going on because I've grown up with computers my entire life. But anyhow, this is Tarot Disassembled. This is actually the second edition. Very beautiful box. And it's gold, and it's created by Jennifer Copper Steedley. And I'll put all the information after the stream in the box. So let's see. Oh, I'm getting a message here. Hold on. Okay. It's saying I don't know what this means. The stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended. Okay. Not even sure what that means, but we'll just have to leave it at that. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. So beautiful box, magnetic closure, wonderful inside. And so the idea behind this deck is that it contains all of the individual components of the RWS tarot, right? And the first edition is pretty cool too. The colors are just a little bit different, and the edging is different. I do like this edging. I don't know how it's translating through video, but it's kind of like a lime green, maybe a little borderline yellow edging, and the backs are black with this beautiful gold foiling. So Tarot Disassembled. So here we have the Fool, and it has all of the components of the Fool card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick little flip through of all the cards, and then I'm going to bring in the RWS original artwork, and then one of the newer decks, a deck that Elizabeth really likes. So then here we have the Lovers. Got the Chariot, Strength. Ooh, look at the Hermit. I like this gray. Also, this deck does not come with a guidebook, but I believe there's a PDF that can be downloaded and possibly even a book that can be purchased. And in that, it discusses the colors, the color choices of these cards. And so, for instance, death, black, of course, has to deal with death, and how it relates to how the color relates to the actual meaning and the overall feel of the card. So here we have the Star and the Moon and the Sun. Oh, I don't see the baby. Interesting. But we do have the chanclas, or the sandals. In our house, we call them chunks. We got the world. And then, interestingly, the cup suit is first, not the wands. No matter. Elizabeth did a cool flip through of this deck on her channel as well. She did all of the cards because she won some sort of raffle or something like that, and the creator ended up giving her maybe I think about 4 or 5 different decks, and so she flipped through all of them in her channel, and it was pretty cool. There was a round deck and the first edition of the Disassembled, and I think there may have been an Oracle deck as well. Oh, look at this Queen of Cups, pretty cool. Knight of Cups, and the round deck I remember seeing. I think it may have been a Kickstarter, but I remember thinking, oh, I should get that deck because I really loved it. Was like a mandala type deck, and I really like the Death card. That's usually what gets me when I buy decks is the Death card and the Queens. Those are the 2. And then, of course, I really pay attention to the 3 of Swords because I generally don't like the RWS interpretation of that. But I still buy many RWSs. But anyhow, the Death card was just beautiful. And that's what, then I was like, oh, I'm going to get that card, but the deck, but I decided not to because I didn't know how I could work with a round deck. I thought it would be kind of awkward. I don't have any odd shaped decks. Here's the 3 of Swords. Now, mind you, like I said, this is the RWS. Oh, I wonder what PAX means. PAX. Interesting. Here we got the chanclas again. I'm going to be interested to see how these compare to the Pamela Coleman Smith's deck. 9 of Swords, we have all of the zodiac symbols, not the constellations. Got the 10 of Swords. These kind of have a maybe flower rose petal feel. They don't seem too sticky though. I have a deck with, it's almost like a tire, literally. And so these don't feel overly sticky. I wonder what that means. That's interesting. So I might have to go ahead and purchase the book, the guidebook, because some of these, like this Band-Aid, well, the Band-Aid, the guy has a bandage around his head. Some of these have symbols that I'm not quite sure of and what they mean. So that's the overall feel of the deck. It's just very bits and pieces of the, oh no, you know what I did? I put them all in, now they're in reverse order. So, okay, I had to plug in my computer very quickly. So what am I going to do, guys? I guess we'll just flip it back over, right? That's funny. Okay. So we're going to look at it backwards now. We're going to go the other way. The other 2 decks I have the RWS with Pamela Coleman Smith's original art, and it has the lily and rose background. And then I have the Glimmer Walker Tarot, which is a very new sort of new style deck. It is RWS based, but there's very different scenery, different colors, and we might not have all of the components that is contained in the RWS I really do like these bright colors. They're bright. They're like the primary colors, and I really like how the card backgrounds are different. The background colors are different. It's amazing. Look at all those yods. I wonder how many yods those are. We might have to count them, right? Okay. All right. Okay, that didn't take that long. Okay, so then we'll slide that over. Slide this one over. Okay, so here are the backs of the cards. So this is, of course, the RWS. This is the Glimmer Walker Tarot. I did a flip through of this deck. Everybody knows this deck. And so this is our featured deck here. And I guess I'll just take them off the stack as we go. There's the Fool. And our Fool here. Okay, so we do have our dogs here. There's the feather in his hat here. We have a cliff right here. What I really like about the Glimmer Walker Tarot is that there's almost like two choices. You can go deep down in the depths or you can go up into the sky, right? Is he going to fly? Is he going to fall? Who knows? But what's down here in the darkness is this flower that's growing, one single flower that's growing off of that thorn branch. And I really like that because there's a dichotomy to this card. And to me, it's like no matter what happens, there's always something good that can come of it, right? And as human beings, we're pretty an optimistic bunch, even though, you know, some of us can be generally pessimistic. But we are as a whole an optimistic bunch, and we have that desire to live, and we have that desire to make things better. Or you know, make the best out of things, and we make things work. And that's the feeling I get from this card. And from the Fool, here we have the mountains, which is, we have the mountains here in the background. We have this step, and we don't know if this dog is trying to warn the Fool or if this dog is just happy to be with the Fool. This dog is a companion. And the Fool's holding a rose right here. We have the white rose here. We don't really necessarily have a rose here other than that flower that I was speaking of. And then we have this ladybug who could be in place of the dog. But nevertheless, the Fool does have a companion. Now, interestingly, we do have a bird right here, which is not in Pamela Coleman Smith's art. And so I'm wondering, you know, what that would mean. Also, this wheel here is also something that I would like to refer to the book. And then I wonder what this is here, these three items. Is this part of the cliff? Is it indicating the cliff is going to break? You know? All right, so let's move on to the Magician. Oh, maybe we should turn these over so you guys can see the backs just a tad, right? So all three of them have the lemon skate, which is great. And I like this, possibly could be the lily. We've got the lily here, red rose here. This could be the red rose as well. Again, we have this bird, reminds me of the phoenix. And so, I don't know, maybe this bird has something to do with the bird and the Fool. Who knows? But this scenery is quite different from the Pamela Coleman Smith, the original. And but we do have the table here. We have all of our elements, pentacles, cup, the wand, the sword, and even the wand that's being held by the Magician as well. And this Aurora Boreas is the Aurora Boreas that's usually around his waist. It's a little hard to see. I'm guessing that this deck is a facsimile and not actually redrawn. Now we have the high priestess. Okay, so all of them have the columns. Okay, the column, the B and the J. I can't remember what they stand for. We've got crescent here, 2 crescents on either side of this figure in the center. We do have the Kemetic tree of life. Amazing. Now, interestingly, there's a palm tree here, and I don't see a palm tree here, and I've never noticed there being a palm tree, but these are palms. We have the pomegranate here, and I believe these are pomegranates as well. And this is the Kemetic tree of life. So very interesting. We have plus. I wonder what that means. And then we've got the cube. Here is the, which I guess is the Isis, the crown of Isis. And this is the same thing here. And our scroll. So I'm wondering what that plus means. Okay, the Empress. So we have the wheat field. Our wheat is there. There's just perhaps this is wheat, very tall for some wheat. Also a pomegranate. The sign of Venus on the shield here. We've got the water stream here, and we've got this stream in the background. She is sitting on a pillow over here. She's got her scepter and then her crown. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which is generally the attributed to the zodiac, right? Our 12 zodiac signs. Here we have the Emperor. Oh, yes. I like all 3 of these cards. All 3 of these cards scream Emperor to me, and I love it. Let me see. I keep getting this warning sign about... I am wondering. I'm going to check something really quick, you guys. Let's see. I am going to see what this looks like on YouTube really quick. Bear with me. I wonder, how do I do this? I swear, I wish I did not think of myself as somebody who was technologically challenged. Okay. Oh, it looks fine. Yeah. I'm just gonna say hi in the chat. Okay. All right. So it looks fine. I don't know what this message means that I'm getting. Yeah. And I don't know how to fix it either. So maybe I'll have to look into that. Okay, so here we are on the Emperor. So we've got the Emperor's chair. We have his beard here, his crown. He is in armor over here. And we've got his scepter with the Ankh on top. The ram's head, because he is associated with Aries energy. Very initiatory fire. Oh, I was supposed to do these backwards. Show the backs. We do have water here, which is strange because I don't see any water in Pamela's Pixie's artwork, right? I don't feel right calling her Pamela. We'll call her Pixie. So I'm going to have to get the PDF document so that I can see what this means. And here we have our Glimmer Walker on a dais, and we've got the ram's head up here, and of course his Ankh. And one thing I mentioned in my flip through of this deck is that I like that all the red was up here, and the blue, which is representative of the emotional state, the emotional feelings, is down here. And it's almost like he's kind of on top of it, like not so much conquered it, but just in control of the emotions. And as someone who's in charge, someone who's a leader, you've got to be in control of those emotions. Otherwise, you won't be able to properly lead and see the path forward. So that's one thing that I really liked about the Glimmer Walker Tarot Emperor card. The Hierophant, we have the hand signal here. And his wand, this 3-tiered wand. We also have his crown, 3-tiered crown, and the 2 keys as well. And also his pillars, right? And to me, when somebody is in front of 2 pillars, it's like a doorway. And that doorway is the door, this, in relation to the Hierophant, this doorway is the doorway to that higher world, that higher knowledge. And the Empress, or no, the High Priestess is also in between 2 columns as well. And her doorway is into that deep, dark depth, that secret that she's holding. Interestingly, we've got the lily here, which we have these 2 figures down here that are robed in a lily patterned and a rose pattern robe. So, I'm interested to know why those are there and why she chose to represent those there. And we also have that the first letter of the name, he who will not be named. This represents duality and our abilities to walk through or be able to switch from both of those realms. And of course, our Glimmer Walker Tarot, we've got the 2 keys, we have the wand. The lily and the rose are represented as well. Oh, this one's stuck. Now we have the Lovers. So the Lovers. Oops, I hope I don't get YouTube kicked out with our nudity here. Let's put some modesty there. Oh no, then we're gonna cover most of her. Okay, sorry guys. We'll just go through this really quickly. I hope anybody's not no one's offended by the human form. So here we have mountains in all of them. Okay, we have this angel wing here. And then we've got the Tree of Life and the Tree of Knowledge being represented in all 3 cards. And the 2 figures are in the Glimmer Walker, but not necessarily in the Disassembled. And I'm starting to see that there's a pattern of no human form, right? We do have a heart here, which of course the Lovers is the exuding love. And I really like that we have a triangle here. Triangle has 3 points, 3 sides. And for me, 3 represents creation. And when 2 people come together, they create something different other than themselves, and that is only that it is unique to them, right? So it's the two coming together and making this 3. So yes, beautiful Lovers card. And now we are to the Chariot, and we have our Sphinxes here, and we have the curtain as well. I'm not too sure what this is here. We also have the wheel, and the Glimmer Walker is pretty different. It really only used this dark, the dark and the light narwhals. I'm guessing that's what those are, as opposed to the 2 Sphinxes. And other than that, I really wouldn't think that this is the Chariot card as an RWS deck. But we do have the wand that he's holding. These 2 faces here, I'm not quite sure what that is representing. That reminds me of drama, those faces for the masks for the drama. But I can say that these chariots, these lavishly decorated chariots, were not used in actual battle. Oh, look, this on this shield, it must be this. It's a little different though. So back to the chariot. These were not really something that moved like in battle. They were more stationary. They were probably more so for show, which probably is what this is. Excuse me there. All right, and here we have strength. So in all of them, we have the lion. This shows the woman. I don't really like what she does to this lion, but, it's almost like she's like, shut your mouth. You know what I mean? Or maybe trying to give the lion a pill, because that's kind of what it looks like when I try to give my dogs medicine. I don't use this deck very often, by the way. So, but I just noticed that this lion's tail is in between his legs. And you know what that means for those of us that have dogs. So, and this lion is a very fierce lion. He's in control here, and this lion is content. He's subdued. We have the Glimmerwalker sitting atop here. Oh, and all three of them have the lemon skate as well, and all three have the laurel. Very interesting. I really like this deck, and thank you so much, Elizabeth, for gifting this to me. And that was very sweet. She texted me and she was like, I want to send you something, and she's just such a sweetie pie. Okay, here's the Hermit. They all kind of have this same feel, and I really like that. I like how it's a very like muted, just kind of calm feeling for the Hermit. Ooh, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's something flying overhead. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and it sounded really low too. Okay, so the mountains, we've got the mountains. This one's in a forest, and I really like the Glimmerwalker, how he's communing up here into the heavens. He's in solitude, alone, and if I were to go into the Hermit's cave, I would rather be in a forest as opposed to a cave. And I feel I would be much more in tune and able to contact and commune with that who I needed to commune to. And as I say that, I guess it would be kind of in different circumstances. But for the most part, when I do work, I like to be outside as opposed to being in confined spaces. But there are some times when I prefer for it to be confined, but not very many. We've got a lantern in both of the cards, the Hermit's robe here, and our 6-pointed star, which appears in the lantern. Yeah, right there. I like the mood of all three of these cards. Now we are to the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So I'm sipping on tea, by the way. That's why there's little pauses. We do have all of the fixed zodiac signs here. Taurus and Aquarius. And this represents Scorpio. And this one, why am I forgetting this one? Leo. Okay, yeah, I had to cheat. I looked over here and I saw Leo was right there. So, I'm guessing that these wings are Aquarius, which is attributed to the angel over here. We have a Sphinx, which is sitting atop here. We have the Sphinx's sword, which this one is holding over here, and the snake as well. And then we've got this little devilish creature, which I've always thought was the devil, but now that I'm looking over here, this might be Thoth, right? Perhaps. I'll have to, again, go to get that book so I can read up on this. And then, of course, the Glimmerwalker has completely departed from the Pixies artwork, aside from the fixed signs being here. So we've got Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius up there. Those are the signs for them. And you know what? I think I might have to do this in parts because I've got some studying to do. I'm taking some astrology courses with Dr. Danny, and I've got some studying to do this weekend, and on top of doing some work as well. Okay, justice. Oh, and also I was supposed to put out some videos on my other channel for some readings, and I just have not had time. I feel so terrible. Oh my gosh. Ever since I started working, I just don't have the time, and I try to say, okay, I'm going to make the time, but I can't, like, the weekend is catching up everything I couldn't do on the weekdays. And, my kids are in sports, and luckily summer's here. So perhaps I will have some more time in the summer, but, I can't promise anymore. I've been saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then I don't do it, and then I feel like this horrible person. Okay, justice. So we've got our person sitting here. I would have liked maybe to see a throne on here, or perhaps a dais. But we do have our pillars in all three. Pillar, pillar, pillar. And all three of them have the scale as well. I do like Glimmer Walker's interpretation because it's like you're in the Hall of Mayat, and with the heart and the feather being weighed. And I really like that. I like that interpretation. We have another cube here, which I'm interested to see what that means. And I'm also interested as to why she put the little shoe that pokes out in the robe of this justice character. So I just need to get the book, don't I? And then maybe we can do a walkthrough. This deck here, I would say, and I agree with Elizabeth, she said this would be a great deck for beginners, people who are just starting to read with tarot. We have Temperance here, especially if you're wanting to work. Oh no, where are we? Did I do that? Oh, where's Temperance? In the wrong spot. That's where Temperance is. There we go. Okay. So we have our lilies here, and the feet. Interesting. We've got the feet right here. We've got 1 foot in water, 1 foot on land. Same here with this temperance being as well. And then, of course, the 2 goblets. What else do we have? We have the soul, the sun represented there. And I'm not quite sure what this crown is, as this angel does not have the crown. But we do have the mountains in the mountain, and I was going to say in the mountain back, in the background, and our angel wings here. And then here is the name of Yahweh, or that is right. Huh. I think that's the name of isn't that? That's the name of God, which is Yahweh. But okay, I'm just going to stop talking about that. But we do have we have 2 suns though, right? We have this sun. So this must be the glimmer behind the angel here. And then this is the sun rising behind the mountaintop. And here with the Glimmer Walker completely departed from this. This Glimmer Walker, it looks like it's diving into the depths to receive this pearl. This is the Hanged Man. Oh my goodness. How did that happen? Okay. Okay, Temperance 12. I did the same thing for this one. That's interesting. Okay, so this is the actual Temperance, right? Here's the Temperance card for Glimmer Walker. So here we have the what's that timekeeper thing? that keeps the sand in there. Oh, I can't think of what it's, the hourglass, right? And this hourglass has the water and the fire in it, and that's the alchemical meaning of what this card usually means. This card usually means bringing things together, bringing them back into balance, tempering things, right? And when this card comes up, it's like there could be an imbalance of something that you need to bring it back into harmony. And so that's what this Glimmerwalker Tarot is trying to convey here. So the Glimmerwalker has the wings in this one, and there's lilies here, and there's a crown that goes around this, and there's a crown mentioned here, but there isn't a crown here. So I'm very interested to know what the crown means. When I did the flip through of Glimmerwalker, I wondered why there was a crown around this hourglass. So very interested to see that. All right. I put these all in order before I started the video, and I was going very quickly. The Hanged One, the Hanged Man, and then the Hanged Man here. We have a rope, which has, there's a rope that ties him to this, I guess, what is this, cross? I never can tell if this is a tree, but I don't think it's a tree because there wouldn't be a perpendicular branch to the trunk, right? So it would have to be something that is man-made, I'm thinking. And this figure is represented by this little painter figure thing. For those of you that have ever purchased a little kit from like Hobby Lobby or something of paints, they'll sometimes include this little man, this little figure to help you get your angles right and get the lighting right and the shading and all of that. And I love these things. I think they're so cute. Anyway, so instead of having an actual person here, they're representing the human figure with this little painter guy. And let's see, there's a fire, which it's not here, but we do have this halo type thing that's being represented as well. And here's the tree. So yeah, I mean, this looks more like a tree, but I don't know of a tree that grows like that. Or a tree that grows like that. And as I said before, this Glimmerwalker Tarot has more has completely departed from the Hanged Man, and from the Temperance card as well. This Glimmerwalker is swimming into the depths of the ocean. I'm thinking this is some sort of sea kelp, and he's trying to find something, which can be related to the Hanged Man, right? Because in the Hanged Man energy, that's something that you're needing to look at in a different direction or in a different light. And here he's in search of something. So when you're trying to perhaps weigh different options, look at it in a different way, you are in search of something, and that something is a treasure. All right, so here is Death, my favorite card. Okay, so I really like this Death. I like the interpretation. I like the darkness of the card. I like that we have the feather here and the flag emblem here. And I think this is like the rose of life, the flower of life. We do have an upside down crown here, and that could be because of one of the figures, I think is a king who has passed on. And we of course have Death's horse. This horse looks a little hesitant, where this horse is going forward with purpose. We also have our two castles in the distance. They could be pillars, watchtowers maybe, right here. And we have it in the background with the sun as well. And I don't know if there's actually a ship, but this is indicative of embarking on a journey. I can't really tell here. This could be a ship, maybe. But in our Glimmer Walker, we have someone on a little boat, and he's going maybe perhaps down the river Styx towards death, towards eternity. Or we've got death overlooking all of this. Right. So now we have the devil. A little bit more nudity for you guys. So we have the devil's palm here. I don't know what that means. We do have the grapes, which is on this tail, the grapes on this tail here. This guy has a flame on his tail, which could be that one, right? And then, of course, hell is always represented, or as we know it, and hell is like this fiery depths with, bats and mean stuff, things that you don't want to be associated with. And then we have the chain of bondage here, which these guys are bound, however loosely. As you can see, this necklace around his neck, it can be easily lifted off and you can walk away. So this card represents things that might have you entrapped, but is something that if given a little effort or a little work, that you could remove yourself. And I like this interpretation because on the other side we have these two figures here, but they're mirrored what looks like to be on the Earth's surface. This looks down here. I don't know if I don't have this on autofocus. So the card's upside down. This is right side up. And here we have the two figures here. We turn it around and it looks like it's the exact two being mirrored on into another realm. So you could say, as you would say, maybe on Earth. So, and I like this interpretation of the devil for the Glimmer Walker. Oh, here we are to the tower. There's our little painter guy. And of course, the two, no one likes this card. Everybody can identify this card. And we have all these yods, right? So I'm guessing that's the same amount of yods that we have here. So very cool. And this tower has the same sort of energy, that fiery energy. I do like this, that we have this eye, this all-seeing eye up here in the Glimmer Walker Tarot. But all of the components are here. We've got the smoke, the lightning, of course, the tower falling with the crown. And so this is basically an upheaval. This is a change that is not welcome. It's a sudden change. Now we are to the star. Oh, interesting. No, there it is. Okay, so I have always attributed this ibis to the star card, and I'm guessing that's what this bird is here up on this tree, possibly the ibis, which is attributed to the star card. And then, of course, we've got the pictures. All of them have the pictures, and we've got a tree here, a tree back there. And not necessarily a single tree, but we've got a copse of trees perhaps back here. The water is here in all of them, and the stars as well. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 stars here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like there's more stars in this one. We've got all of these everywhere. Well, this is the reflection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. Some people would say that it represents the Pleiades, which I can't ever remember if the Pleiades is 7 or 8 stars. Like it's supposed to be a number. It's supposed to be a higher number. So let's say it's supposed to be 8, but there's actually only 7. And there's a myth that goes along with that as to why there's only 7 is because the 8th was stolen by someone, or something, right? So, and I can't ever remember if it's 6, 7, or 8, you know, or, you know, is it supposed to be 7, but it's only 6, or is it supposed to be 8, but it's only 7? So I need to get down on my mythology here. Right. So now we have the moon. I'm interested to see this one. Okay, so we have our crustacean, we have our 2 pillars, we've got the moon, and we've got all of our yods. We've got the wolf and the dog. The water is here as well. And this, some say that this is an eclipse, and I don't quite know how I feel about that. You know, I feel like there's a crescent moon. I don't know, but and then this could be the sun. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that being an eclipse. But, you know, the moon being in front of the sun would be an eclipse. However, this looks crescent to me. So, and then here, this would be the full moon, the whole moon, eclipsing the sun, which makes sense. But it doesn't quite jive with me as far as the artwork, Pixie's artwork goes. And then here we have the moon phases. We've got our new moon here, and then our full moon, and then of course our waning moon, and then the waxing here. We have just one beast, which could be Wolfie. And then we have an owl up here, which is associated with moon energy. And we don't have a crustacean, but what I really like, what this card alludes to, is that the crustacean is either coming up or going down. You know, it doesn't necessarily say whether or not he's coming up or coming down. And it leaves it up to our interpretation. So here is the sun. Oh, and this baby doesn't have chanclas on. I don't know why there's chanclas in here. So that's another thing that I will be looking up when I get the book. Okay, we have the same bird that appeared in the Magician card as well, and may even have, he came out in so yes, the same bird in the Magician. I'm sorry, I know this is not a Glimmerwalker walkthrough. Yeah, so I was thinking it was almost the same bird that was in the Hermit card, but the Hermit card doesn't really have a bird per se, maybe bird spirit. But definitely it looks like the same bird in the Magician card, which is appearing in our Sun card. So we've got our horse. The baby's not showing up, but maybe these little shoes represent the baby's shoes, what the baby doesn't have on. I'm not sure. The feather, which is on the baby's head up here. We do have our sunflowers, the wall, and of course the sun, the horse. This flag. Oh, I never really thought this was a flag. I just thought it was a ribbon. But I guess I could see the flagpole here, which is kind of bent. So not a very good flagpole. And then here in our Glimmerwalker, I guess these are supposed to be the sunflowers, and our Glimmerwalkers riding atop this bird in this swirling sunlight. So Glimmerwalker definitely departs from the art of Pamela Coleman Smith. Okay. So here we've got our little painter guy representing all these people, hailing, praising the angel who is blowing the trumpet. We've got the trumpet and the flag, of course. We've got the mountains in the background, and then of course our coffins and the water. So this Glimmerwalker is a little bit different. We do have the angel. We don't see the trumpet, but we do see these figures coming up, being called. And then we have the world. Okay. We've got the world. So this one, we have the laurel. We have the person in the center. Then we have our fixed signs, which, where is Aquarius? Probably represented by these angel wings, I'm guessing. And then these are the wands that the figure here is holding. So, and then we've got our yin and yang, which is balance, right? That's bringing, light is dark, dark is light, and they can't exist without one another. So that is the world. And for the Glimmer Walker, this artist represented all of the suits. These are all of the suits that are within this. So this is the fire, this is the water, this is the air, this is the earth suit. And I do like that this Glimmer Walker is walking into a new realm, so to speak. And almost we could say that this is like a portal that this figure is coming through. And this card is, of course, completion. You've reached your destination, and now it's time to embark on a new journey with everything that you've learned from the previous. So very, very cool deck. I really like this deck. I like the disassembled feel of it. And I will do perhaps a part 2 for the minors. So I am going to have to run. Like I said, I've got some studying to do and a few other things I need to take care of. But this is Tarot Disassembled. Now, where's the box? I will do a little closing thing. Tarot Disassembled by Jennifer Cooper Stidley. And so that was super nice of you, Jennifer Cooper Stidley, to gift this to my friend. I know she is enjoying that round deck that you made. Oh, here I am talking to the creator like she's going to be watching. Maybe you will. But anyhow, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in part 2. Take care.